Hi, everybody. My name is Renan Augusto. I'm with SmithLife Homecare, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Ask the Expert. I'm very excited for this episode, and I'm going to introduce our guest here in a moment. But first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about SmithLife Homecare. SmithLife Homecare is a partnership with the Charles E. Smith Life Communities. SmithLife Homecare has been providing non-medical in-home support to seniors aging in place and to helping people recover with complex medical situations. I'm a certified dementia practitioner and a senior home safety specialist. And today I'm extremely excited for this presentation because we're going to be talking about the harp. And we're going to be talking about how music helps people heal. Music is something very close and something that I love. I'd like to welcome our guest, Miss Anne Apynys, to the show. And thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Like I said, I couldn't be more excited about this. I think that this is a great resource for our clients. Music is something that I know as vibrations have effect on us.
Mhm.
And I know that when I'm coming to work, if I'm listening to heavy metal, I'm going to show up agitated.
Mhm.
If I'm listening to, let's say, classic music, I might feel a little bit more intellectual. If I listen to easy listening music, I feel more at ease. So today we're going to talk about the harp. And first, I'd like to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know that you're a certified music practitioner.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, first, let me tell you that I became interested in this because I am a nurse.
Okay.
And I just retired after being a nurse for about 1,000,000 years. All right. And while I was a nurse, I became, I've always had a background in music, and I became aware of the healing qualities of music. And so I enrolled and completed the program through the Music for Healing and Transition program. So that is a program that people enroll and take. It's a full program. It is not through a university. It is through their program that you do. When I did it, it was live. Now everything's online. You know, ever since COVID happened, everything moved to online. But I went to a hospital in Baltimore, Mercy Hospital, and I attended 5 very long and full weekends. And all of this included books, book reviews, an exam, an internship where I played for 45 hours at the bedside for patients in the hospital, all over the hospital where I worked. And then you complete the program and you have a certification, and you still have to keep up with CEUs and things like that. The point of this is that, as you pointed out, music, sound waves are real things that emanate out. We use sound waves in science all the time. Think about it, like an ultrasound. You take sound waves and it creates a picture of something that you're taking. We know the Navy has used sonar for over 50 years? I mean, they were using that, I think, in World War II. So what this does is it is a way of interacting with a person's physical body. We often think of music as just an auditory thing, just through the ears, but now we know that there are neuroreceptors throughout our body, and that when we play the music, these neuroreceptors pick up the sound. And so what we learn in this program is how to assess a patient and kind of go through a process of finding what is the most relaxing type of sound that they interact with. Since everybody's a little different, everybody has a different set of sounds that they prefer, and we want to find out what that is, and then we expand on that. And the goal is to help people attain a state of deep relaxation. And when they do that, it helps the healing process. It helps people sleep better. We know that for people in memory units and things like that with dementia, that hearing melodies from their past often helps decrease the agitation. And so that is what our goal is for the program, is to come in, play for people, and help them attain a really deep state of relaxation.
So when you go in, you get to know a person?
Well, you don't have to know a person.
Okay.
All right. And that's one of the differences between what we do when we complete this program. We are called certified music practitioners.
Okay.
That is different from a music therapist. And I really want to distinguish that because I don't want people to confuse us. And they do a lot. And I understand why. But a music therapist is a form of therapy. So you have a client, they have an issue they're working through, and they use music as a way to address their issues. What we do is we come in and we don't have to know anything about the patient. We don't have to know their diagnosis. It doesn't matter what their age is. We can come in completely blind to everything about the patient. Sometimes they may not even be fully conscious, depending on where they're at. I played for people in the ICU units when I was
pick up on the vibration.
That's right. And so you just come in, you introduce yourself and say hello. You may or may not know anything about the patient. The patient may choose to share or not what's going on, but we start to play and we just see, oh, do you like this? Do you like that? You know how if you go to, say, for example, physical therapy, and the first time you go to a physical therapy appointment, they will say, like, does this hurt? Does that hurt? Can you move here? Can you move there? You know, they're trying to figure out where your issues are and how far they can push you. That's what we do with the music. So we start saying, oh, do you like this sound? Does this sound work? We're not asking them. We're watching them very intently to see how do they respond. And we go through different modes and keys and things like that. And then we find out what they seem to be really responding to. And then we expand on that and play for them.
So as you're watching them, and we have our set questions here, but I'm so interested on this topic that I'm going to let our viewers know that we're going to jump around a little bit all over the place. So as you're playing the music and you're watching them respond, do you adapt the music to their response?
It depends. We could. We can do that. If it seems like playing a little bit slower is more relaxing, that's good. If it seems like they become restless and maybe they need a little bit more of a quicker tempo, we can do that. That's the point of watching them very carefully, is to see how they respond. And you never know. Sometimes you may assume, which we know is always dangerous, right? But you may think, oh, somebody seems to be this type of a person. Let's try this kind of music. And you get there, it's not doing anything. Then you try something else and they respond to that. So then you go with that.
That's interesting. And one of the things that I really love about this is not only do I love music, but I love holistic approaches to helping people, to even red light therapy. It's not a drug that you take, but it's a separate topic. But music, the same thing. It's the vibrations, and I can't wait.
And the vibrations are really important, and we take our time. One of the things that we do when we're playing therapeutic music is we call it letting the music breathe. There's space, and that's okay. We say less is more. Yeah. Sometimes a single note, you just come in and you play that note, and I've had patients say, I felt that. Just that one note, and then you build from that. So it's not this really fast thing. It's actually easy and gentle until you can find where they're most comfortable at, and then you just slowly expand on that.
So let me ask you, what is the Music Healing and Transition Program?
Well, that is the program that I went through. So there is a website, mhtp.org. And if you go to that website, you will find all the information that anybody would need to enter this program. And I want to say, it's not just the harp. Any instrument, just about any instrument can be used for this purpose, including voice. So there are people who sing, and they learn to sing really soothing vocalizations. We have a member who plays the string bass. He has a little wheel on his string bass, and he wheels it down, and he goes in and he plays the string bass. So we have guitarists, a lot of harp, but not only harp, strings, so violin, cellos. We have a Native American flute. That's a lovely, soothing sound that people play. So there's a whole group of people who play that. So it's far more expansive than only the harp.
I think it's amazing how different sounds create different reactions. I know that my family's from Brazil, so you go to Brazil and you start hearing the samba and, just the percussion, you start kind of getting into this rhythm. And, I could see where the harp would be so relaxing. Let me ask you.
And I've learned that in South America, the harp is a very popular instrument, that lots of people play the harp throughout South America, especially, for example, in Peru, the Andean harp music. That's a long tradition.
I look forward, because after today, I know that I'm going to pick up on the harp a lot more. It's like if you drive that one BMW, let's say, all of a sudden you start noticing all the BMWs.
Exactly.
Now that we're doing this episode, I'm going to pick up on every harp, and I'm going to think about you. Let me ask you, the next question is, how does music therapy help, and who does it help?
Well, again, it's not music therapy, it's therapeutic music. Because, again, I just don't want to confuse us with a music therapist, because we want to honor what they do, but it's a different modality than what we do. It helps by when they pick up the sound waves, the vibrations. It helps them to attain that deep state of relaxation. That's really what our goal is. So we've got lots of science behind it to show that it helps decrease blood pressure. It helps people slow down their breathing. It can help with pain. It can help with anxiety. It can help with agitation. It just, when you can go into that deep state of relaxation and divert their attention. That's the other thing. So they can focus on the music instead of the pain or the anxiety that they're feeling. And then they can help go into that deep state of relaxation. And it's a lovely way to go to sleep as well. You hear this, sometimes I've played for patients, and I said, if you need to go to sleep, that's probably exactly what you need to do. And they can just go into that deep state of sleep.
Sure, and I know now you're talking about sleep, but it's very important in how we go to sleep, because I know that they say that you should never go to sleep upset, because then you're going to wake up upset. At the same time, I can imagine that if you go to sleep very relaxed and in a meditative state with positive thoughts, it's going to help with waking up and that following day.
Right, and it will help you go through all the sleep cycles, that you need to do. When you go through your REM cycles, your 4 stages of sleep, and then the REM cycle, if you can go through that, that's a more refreshing type of sleep. You wake up and you feel better.
So let me ask you, for our viewers here, if they want to learn more and they want to get started, they want to bring you either to their house or to the hospital or to a rehab, how would they go about that?
Contacting me at this moment, I would say call me on my cell phone number, which is 301-452-6151. And I am now in the process of developing a website and so forth, because I just retired recently, and so I am now starting this new phase of my career.
We're going to put a splash screen at the end of this video for all the viewers that'll have Anne's contact information on there. We're also looking forward to adding you to our resources list. I think this is a fantastic resource. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you'd like to mention, bring to our attention?
Well, I would say that this form of therapeutic music works on all age groups, and it works for many different kinds of diagnoses. So it's wonderful for seniors. It also works for little ones in the neonatal unit. It works for little children. It works for special needs kids, for example, something like that. And again, it works for people with dementia, with memory care. they don't have to know who you are. One of the points of this is that one of the ways that we are different from entertainment is that when a musician, for example, is an entertainer, which is a wonderful thing, right? But that musician is playing music that expresses their needs, their desires, whatever it is that they're feeling. When you're playing therapeutic music, the focus is the patient. So it doesn't matter if they know the music. It doesn't matter what song you play. If it doesn't work, you switch. It's not about you, the musician. It's about the patient, the client. So you do what serves the client, not as an expression of your own artistic endeavors.
Beautifully said. I have one more question that
Yes.
I can't help to ask. Can you give us a little demonstration?
I can.
I was hoping you would say that. I see the harp there, and I can't wait to hear it. So,
all right. So I will just play for a few minutes, and you'll hear that this starts slower, and I'm just going to go through some of the different modes that we play, and then I'll end playing a melody that some of you may find familiar.
Okay.
All right.
And I have to warn our viewers, I may close my eyes. I look forward to being disconnected almost to the therapy, to the therapeutic sounds, shall I say.
All right. So just.
All right, let's take it away. I'm going to move over here and. That was beautiful. I was hoping that you weren't going to stop playing, and I would love to have a recording of this. And thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you
on
for
the show
inviting
today.
me.
I'd like to thank all the viewers. I definitely encourage you to reach out to Anne, and thank you for watching Ask the Expert. Till next time, take care.